Did you know that death and life are in the power of the tongue? And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. If that's something that we already know, then why do we live life allowing ourselves to speak death over our life? Why do we allow negativity to come out of our mouths? You see, death isn't all about just physical death. It's about destruction. It's about doubt. It's about fear. It's about all the negative feelings and thought patterns that you wouldn't want running the show if you could actually pick. But there's good news. You can pick. No matter how your mind is wired right now, we can rewire our mind. We can instill a different program. Because our brain is nothing more than a supercomputer. It's going to run on whatever program that we decide to either instill in it purposely or allow someone else to instill in us. See, we can't forget that if we aren't intentionally updating our software, if we aren't intentionally plugging in the hard drive or downloading the file, we're not going to be the one who decides what our brain is running off of. If we don't do it, who do you think is doing it? It's going to be all the enemy forces that are working against you. And don't mistake the fact that you don't necessarily see any outward attacks, that there's no spiritual warfare. That's exactly what the opposition wants you to believe, that there's no battle going on. And there's always a fight for your program. The world wants to instill or install viruses. They want you to click on the wrong links. They want you to fall down the wrong rabbit hole. So that way they can plant little malware in the cracks of your mind that you don't see. And if we allow ourselves to be exposed to these things for long enough, what we said earlier about death and life being in the power of the tongue, guess what starts to come out? Death. If we aren't intentionally uploading new updates, filing new patches, then our mind's going to be overrun. It's going to be hijacked. And since we don't pay attention, all it does is grow in the viruses. Let's look at it another way. Every thought, every word, every feeling, it's all just a seed. If we don't think about the mind being a supercomputer, we can think of it being a garden. What kind of seeds are we planting? Or are we making the mistake of not planting any seeds and letting the outside do all the gardening? You see, it always goes back to the main tools that are used against us, the main weapons that get in our way, or so we think get in our way. They only get in our way when we allow them to. The two most powerful things that it goes back to is distraction and comfort, two of which can wreak havoc. See, if we're constantly distracted, how will we ever see the kind of viruses, the kind of poisonous plants that are being sowed in our minds? How can we see it? Excuse me. So, it's always up to us. It doesn't matter how far we've gone along this path of running on infected software or reaping the fruits of a poisonous garden. We can always make the shift today. We can always rewire our minds starting now. It doesn't matter whether or not we don't see the benefits right away. Look at it this way. The time is going to pass anyways. So would you rather have the same amount of time pass that it would take for you to reprogram yourself? Would you rather the same amount of time pass and you actually actively, consistently make little bits of progress over time and you actually see the change? Or would you rather do nothing, have the same amount of time changed, and still be stuck with the same poisonous plants or the same virus-filled software? I mean, when you look at it that way, you might as well work on it, right? You see, the trap that the enemy likes to set, one of the traps, is that once we walk down a path for so long, we can't come back from it. That we're already too far gone. But we don't have to believe in that. You see, it's as simple as starting with a new kind of thought. Let's conjure up a different kind of picture. Let's see the tasks that we dread doing, that if we just only enjoyed doing it, it will have a drastic effect on our life. It's the thing that I know is going to benefit me greatly, but since my mind is running on this program, I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it. I'm unmotivated. I'm uninspired. What if we could actually rewire our mind to enjoy the suck, enjoy the uncomfortability that comes with doing that consistent, impactful thing? We can. It all starts with that verse I said earlier. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So we can literally reconstruct our mind to crave the things that are going to give us that progress that we want, but our old ways of thinking, our bad habits, are the things that are getting in the way. Not even the enemy, not even the outside forces. More often than not, we are the ones in our own way. We are the ones standing in front of us, blocking the path. And we don't even realize it most of the time. But that's the whole point of this. When you start speaking in a completely different way, your speech is going to hold a lot more weight than your thoughts are. Both of them emit different vibrations, but you can't feel the vibrations from your thoughts, but you can feel the vibrations from your body, from your voice. So we can override the thoughts and the feelings with our speech. People say, fake it until you make it. But none of this is faking. When you change your speech from death to life, you're training your mind to expect something different, to emit something different. We can literally trick our minds with something like just imagination that oftentimes gets overlooked. And we don't... That's a conversation for a different time. Because if I go into that, we're going to be in here for a whole nother 10, 15, 20 minutes. So I appreciate you for making it this far in the video. If you did, shout out to you. Feel free to do all the YouTube stuff if you want to. But regardless, I'll see you in the next video. Adios for now.